Can you welcome from the United States Athletics team, Jon Drummond and Lawrence Johnson. Yeah. Thanks very much for coming in tonight, Jon. And you've been running over in the main stadium, and we should have a look at your race right now. It's here you go. You'll be able to see yourself. Maybe you haven't seen this before. It's up on the. Yeah, here you are posing after the race.
I'd like to see.
Yes, I'm not sure whether this is before or after, but anyway, obviously you've won there. I don't know whether we've got the race actually. Now that we look about it, the director was so taken by all of this. You know what directors are like. That's fantastic.
Yes.
And the show business element shouldn't be denied in running, though, should it?
No, definitely not. I think you guys don't understand we expend so much energy and the emotion that we put into our race when we finally finish and actually achieve the goal. This is how we release it.
Yes,
you know?
yes. And it went on for a while tonight.
It did.
He's the heir apparent. You know, Jon Drummond is the clown prince, but that's my heir apparent.
Yes,
that's the heir apparent right there.
Doesn't look as though we've got the race, but we've certainly got the aftermath. That's right.
It's better than the race.
Now,
great guy.
Last night we had Atto on the show, and he thought that he would one day beat Maurice. Do you reckon he can?
Oh, he has.
He has?
He has. He was the last person, in fact, to beat Maurice in Lausanne, Switzerland.
Right.
Unfortunately, I was in the hospital when that race happened, so... But, you know, Maurice is human, and, I mean, he's an exceptional human. He's a phenomenon, I would say. He's a great person. I mean, he's really true to the game, true to the sport, and Otto Bolden the same, you know, great people. Hey, Otto, since he said hi to me. You know, great guys to work with, and I was just happy to, you know, take part in their life and their success.
Now, you're a commentator as well, or I've seen you do some commentary, and you've done this great thing where, you know, you say the composure's a lot of rubbish in a race, and they all desperately want to actually get into the lead. Right. And what they do, they're all trying to correct what they're doing wrong. And you're the first person actually to come up with that, because commentators generally say, isn't so-and-so looking composed? Isn't Maurice looking composed? Isn't Atto looking composed? When it actually is, you're right, they're just working through what they have to do to get in front.
You know, our coach teaches us on a constant, you know, what to do right. But the truth is, when we get to that start line, it's like, so what? I want to win. Forget all that stuff. Just run, man, run.
Yeah, yeah.
Now,
do you... I love that. I'm sorry I had to do it.
I bet you do it once more before he goes.
Yeah. Do you, I noticed with people who leap the bar, hate that bloody bar. Do you hate distance or do you hate time?
I hate distance.
You hate distance?
I can't control time. There's no control over time, but I hate distance.
And Lawrence, do you hate the bar?
Days like today, I hate the bar.
You hate the bar?
I hate the bar.
Yeah.
Because some people can hit the bar, and the bar will jump and come back, and it'll sit and stay, and then other people will come through, be way over the bar, and
it still
fall.
Yeah, I hate that.
It's kind of difficult.
Yeah. But you thinking hate when you're about to go, when you're about to unleash down, you thinking I hate that?
There's a lot of things you're thinking. You know, I wanted to get you all caught up on a few pole vaulting terms, so the next time you kind of commentate, and you can kind of add some of those things in.
Please.
For instance, we have one that's, a lot of these techniques, some of them you've seen here in Sydney, some of them a little hard, so you haven't quite seen all of them, like pick the berries. You know, when you come running down the end of the runway, you play at the pole, you get up over the top of the pole, and you sit on the top of the pole as you're going into the pit. That's called picking the berries. Now, if you make a mistake, it's called stabbing the gopher.
Stabbing the gopher?
Yeah, that doesn't feel too good. Yeah, you got to be careful with that. You got to really watch for the pros. So, you know. Is that there?
I love that.
Is that there?
I want to take that home.
But Lawrence, how many berries would you pick?
You know, I think if you have any more than a couple berries to pick, I think you're probably in some kind of trouble. You know? You might be in the wrong event. You might want to check another profession or something. You know?
Right, okay. And the other is stabbing the gopher. Was that it?
Stabbing the gopher. Stabbing the gopher.
Okay. We don't have terms in sprints.
No.
In the pole vault the other night, the pole did damage one of the jumpers, the leapers, right at the top of the jump. He caught the pole with his cruets, as we'd say in Australia.
Right.
Did that send a shudder up your spine?
Well, you know, that's not one of the things you like to see, especially if you're the next one down the runway. You know, but yeah, it can definitely hurt. You know, there's some things that just aren't meant to be, and you know, having a pole thrust in certain places is not one of them.
He obviously picked too many berries.
Now, when you see a good performance, and people often say of a good performance that it was sort of what they call an out-of-body performance, meaning they could see themselves do it. Now, have you ever had that experience, and have you seen it happen to someone? So as you see Maurice running down the track, and then all of a sudden there's another Maurice upstairs going with him.
You know, I've experienced that. Yeah. But it was actually Maurice running from the track.
Yeah. Out-of-body experiences, yeah, definitely. I think I guess winning the silver medal wasn't quite an out-of-body experience. I think the next out-of-body experience I've experienced is winning the gold in 2004. Oh, that hasn't happened.
That hasn't happened. No. That's called prophecy, premonition.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. All right. Well, I guess I haven't had an out-of-body experience.
And how about you, John?
I think I've experienced it tonight. You know, once the relay was over and we actually got to stick around, it was like, hey, we actually got to stick around.
Yeah, right.
So it was an out-of-body experience.
Right. Rather than somebody else sticking around after you'd done roughly the same. Yes.
I'm picking the bears.
Look, we were talking a little bit earlier on in the program. We were reacting to an article written by Wallace Matthews, an American journalist, who suggested that Americans are hated by Australians. And yet, when you arrived tonight, you were saying what a terrific time you were having and how much loved you felt. Now, what's going on here? Who's right?
Well, I'll say this. In much respects to all the volunteers and all the people who gave up their time here, I would say we have had the warmest reception that I've ever experienced. I was in Atlanta in '96, and I mean, you know, America, they treated us beautifully, but I think the fact that you guys don't take yourself so serious and you guys so laid back,
definitely.
You help us enjoy ourselves. And I'll say this, if it wasn't for this show, I'd probably be the gold medalist, because I sat up so many nights and watched this and laughed. It's your fault. I gotta blame somebody. You're the blame. But I'm telling you, you guys are awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm serious, man. I mean, you guys help the athletes. I'm sure athletes all over the village that are watching this are saying to themselves, if it wasn't for you guys allowing us to not take ourselves so serious, because we spend so much energy, mental energy, not the physical, because that's what we do, but so much mental. We needed a comic relief, and you guys have been there for us. You guys and Tim Tams, and what's that chocolate ice cream bar I like? What's the ice cream bar, the chocolate ice cream bar?
Magnums.
Not them, the other one.
No.
Pedal Pops. That's it. Pedal Pops. That's what's up. Lifesaver for Jon Drummond was. They made me forget about 5th place in 100.
And look, we promised not to come to Athens, so you'll be able to get gold. And look, thanks very much for coming in this evening. And on behalf of everybody connected with the Dream, we'd like you to get your hands on these fabulous mementos
I'm gonna cry.
of your time in Sydney.
I wanted this more than the
your
gold
trip.
medal. I got mine!
I have to explain that John's come straight from Stadium Australia and he hasn't even had a shower yet.
I apologize if I'm offending anybody.
I'm holding my breath over here, but
that's all right. Keep holding it.
Yeah. Well, can I say on behalf of all Australians that Americans are always welcome here, because we might object to certain things en masse, but individually you're always most engaging people.
And can you please thank Jon Drummond and Lawrence Johnson? And before you go, can you just grab the little bloke and give us one of those familiar chants that you hear everywhere?
Ozzy, Ozzy, Ozzy!
Oi, oi, oi!
I love that.
Yeah, there you go. I love it. Thanks very much.